back here, episode 3, FMTV. We're here at Fitness Motivators. Thank you for giving us the hospitality.
Yeah.
We're here to discuss men versus women. If you are following me on Facebook, I caused a lot of controversy this week.
Do you?
Yes, sir.
Do you?
Absolutely.
And that's saying a lot coming from me.
Absolutely.
The objective was to try to get people to think outside the box. A lot of times we react instead of thinking rationally and logically and actually comprehending what's being told to us to respond intellectually. So it sparked today's segment, which is men versus women. What's the disconnect? There's a lot of women that are scorned by black men and vice versa. And we want to put all the issues out on the table. We want to figure out why, what have we done as black men to hurt our black women, lose their trust, lose their sense of security when it comes to us, things of that nature. And we also want to discuss what are our issues with the black women, with black women, why we tend to treat them the way we treat them, not step up to the plate, if you will, and being quote unquote a man. So we've got a great audience here tonight to participate in this conversation, and we're gonna see where it goes. What you thinking?
I'm thinking it's going to be a good dialogue. I think people going to have a lot to say. I think we got a nice, good-looking group here. So I think I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it.
Ron, what you think?
I'm just here to participate, kind of hear everybody out. I'm hoping something constructive happens so we don't get too explosive. I know how y'all do, bro. Y'all some gaslight.
There you go. There you go.
So,
There you go. I am
something constructive comes out of this.
rehabilitated. I'm rehabilitated.
Slightly. That's up for debate, but we'll see.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I think it's going to be a good discussion because we have a lot of, all of us have differing opinions, of course.
Yeah.
We got a lot of different people with differing opinions in the room. I'm pretty sure it's going to be constructive. We're going to hopefully allow everyone to talk.
Constructive.
Constructive conversation, yeah. You know what I mean? We got to build something, bro. That's the point, right?
I understand.
Sounded good.
It sounded good, but in order to really get to the root of the problem, we gotta get dirty. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. You can't solve a problem without dissecting the problem and accepting that there is a problem. So, audience, we all agree there is a problem, correct? Yep, we do. So we want to start with the ladies. Tell us some things that we've done
You got the floor.
to cause
Yeah.
you to lose your distrust in your fellow black man, to lose your sense of security in your fellow black man.
And the fellas, we got to let them talk.
Right.
We can't cut them off.
That's key.
We can't
There will be
counterpoint.
there
None
will
of that.
be
We
a
got to let them
time
go.
when we can give
Yeah,
up
we got to let them go.
But now is not the time. The floor is theirs.
Hold on, time out. Before they even go, understand this. We're giving y'all the floor. Y'all got to do the same. And I know that's hard a lot of times for ladies. You got to listen to us, too.
Uh-oh.
All right?
He done already
Jesus
started.
Christ.
He done already started.
Oh,
I'm going to be the
boy.
first one to start.
But look, didn't he say we was going to be the ones? He said we was going to be the ones, right? Oh, all right. I just wanted to point that out.
Hey.
We all see who went left
Yeah,
already,
right.
right?
Early.
All right, who wants to begin?
Ladies. You know
Oh,
you
don't
want
get
to.
quiet
You
now.
know you want to.
Now y'all want to get
In the
quiet.
back.
Bingo. Olivia, take the floor. Say what now? Grab the mic. Talking to the mic.
Lie.
That's it.
Lie in regards to what?
Everything. Lie.
I need you to elaborate.
Lie.
Elaborate.
Yeah, you got to elaborate because humans lie.
Understand that. But if you have a
die for him?
She has.
Does he know?
That with her actions and her words. She showed him, not with just words, but with her actions, that she was there for him, to support him, to be there for him, to take care of him, to be whatever he needed her to be. Yet he still lied.
Love language. You heard of that? Love languages?
Yeah, mine is quality time.
Yours. See how she immediately told us hers.
Hold up, they got the floor.
I get that. But where I'm going with it is this.
I can answer that question.
If you're going to say you showed him X, Y, and Z, I'm asking you, does he know that? Because you may be showing him the way you think he wants to see it. You're not showing him the way he needs to see it to understand. That's the difference. So I'm asking you, does he know that you're a ride or die for him? How does he know?
I'm sorry, excuse me?
Uh,
Okay, and the wheels have fell off. No,
That's
there
what
is
somebody
women who
told me.
allowed the man for his wheels to fall off, and she still shows him by actions and words that she was there. Why lie then?
Turn the mic up.
fellas.
We supposed to be letting them go.
No, she asked, she asked the question and we can respond, right? So she asked, why do men lie, right? I
Turn your phone down.
just my opinion. Again, these are all my opinions, of course. That's what they are. But lying is a character trait, I think. I don't think it has anything to do with you per se. He probably lies to people in general. If you're a liar, you're just a liar, right? And he clearly doesn't want to be all about you if he continues to lie to you. He has some selfish stuff going on. He wants to continue doing what it is that he does. If he was into you like that, you know what I mean, and it wasn't so selfish, then maybe he wouldn't lie. So I think a liar is just a liar. I mean, now I can admit to lying to people because I wanted to get my way, manipulate, still want to do what I want to do. So there's that part, right? Like, it's not really no real reason for it other than he's just a liar and he wants to do what he wants to do and not really be open and honest with you. I mean, that's what I got. I don't.
My view?
Yeah. What you think?
So, I think no, but I think that I understand that. I understand women's frustration.
Olivia, honey. Olivia, you can't walk away while we're addressing your issue.
Yeah, she was trying
I understand.
to pick that up.
I understand.
But I understand a woman's position of men lying and that being something that's frustrating with them. I say that because I have a little bit of different viewpoint. Like women kind of experience someone they care about and love lying to them and hurting them very early in life compared to men. Women oftentimes start experiencing that type of stuff in middle school a lot of times. High school, definitely. Men a lot of times don't usually get their heart broken until they later on in life. So if they have more experience of people lying to them or whatever, that's going to be a thing for them. You know what I'm saying? So I understand her thing was, why do people lie? Why do men lie or whatever? Because I would imagine that most women have experienced that type of hurt and pain from someone a lot more than the average man.
So again,
does that make sense? What
yeah,
I said?
It definitely makes sense. But can we admit that too? Okay, so since we go back to childhood, as boys, we lied to stay out of trouble. So we taught if we lied,
that has no bearing on whether or why they get lied to, though.
She asked why do men lie?
All right, look, man, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Everybody lies, okay? Let's just get this out in the open.
Yeah.
Everybody lies, male and female.
Yeah.
That's true.
The question is, what do you lie about, one, and two, how often do you lie?
Well, she didn't ask that. All she said was lie.
And that's my point.
Right.
But that's my point. When you say why do men lie? Everybody lies. A man can lie strictly because he knows it's going to hurt your feelings. He don't want to hurt your feelings. A man can lie for the simple fact of he know he don't want to hear your mouth about what he getting ready to do. So when you say why do men lie, that is extremely broad.
Very, very true.
I can lie about having to go to the bathroom because I don't want to hear your mouth about you telling me to give a courtesy flush. So anybody can, it's like you got to dig deeper into why you're saying, why do men lie? Because everybody lies. It all depends on the reason.
Right.
I mean, but if it's repetitive behavior, can we agree to do part of this?
It's always repetitive.
I mean, come on, y'all.
But it's always repetitive behavior.
Right.
But this is what you got to understand.
You ain't got a homie that just lies, and you be like, yo, we
No,
gonna lie
this
about
is
that.
what you got to understand. In a relationship, lying is repetitive. Again, and I'm not trying to go off topic. Hey, Nay. I'm not trying to go off topic, but let's just face facts. You could have a certain amount of money in your bank account. You won't tell him anything unless he asks. He can say you lied about it because you didn't share it with him. Right? Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Say what now?
That's not even out. That's not even a lie by omission.
Because what people don't want, the fact that people don't want to accept is omission is a lie.
Right, but I don't think that's a good example of
It's
lie
an
by
excellent
omission.
example because if you're not telling it and you're in a relationship and there should be an open book, there should be no lies, there should be nothing hidden.
Okay. Go ahead, Ace.
Well, that's a third. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But is hearing them out for consequence?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a consequence?
You put it out there as a
Absolutely, it's
consequence.
I don't think that's a consequence.
Man, what women you? Well, never mind. Never mind. Yeah.
I don't view that as a consequence. I view that as keeping the peace.
The consequence of hearing her mouth is definitely,
That's keeping the peace.
Can we?
Okay.
Can we hear from another lady about? you
Yeah,
know,
since Nay has so much sidebar,
Another question. Yeah.
tell us what you thinking.
Anybody got another question? Yeah.
Again,
Speaking to the mic.
the question is, what can black men do to better treat you guys, to be better men for you guys? And
That's not the question.
what was it?
What is it that we? What is it that we all do?
The question is what have we done
Oh, okay.
to cause the black women to lose
Right,
her
yeah.
distrust in her
Kinda
fellow
the same
black
thing.
man?
My opinion with that is not
Talking to the mic.
I have a low voice, but my opinion with that is men to me don't understand that they were born with legitimate power. They don't act out basically the characteristics that that's embedded in them.
Elaborate.
That's good.
I like where you're going with
Yeah,
this,
me
but
too.
elaborate.
I mean, with the lying, you have families, you have people that support you, whether it be, look, I'm coming out of a very, very toxic relationship at this moment, right? This is a man that I knew when I was 17. I like street dudes, so he went to jail for 25 years.
Just talking about that, woman.
Right. Well, I'm sorry. He was sentenced for 25 years. He did 20. Came home to nothing. Right now, he saved $25,000 just because he was with me. Right. Got a decent job. He has done several things. Right. I'm sort of afraid to name some of the few because it'll be.
You don't have to if you don't feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to.
You don't have to.
Right. I truly love him. I I do. But I realize that he's, am I saying it right, narcissistic?
Narcissistic, yes.
That characteristic, I have to read about it daily to help me get through what I'm going through. Because in every article that I read, it's something that I've experienced with this person. And to me, I feel like what other men can do, based on what you said, is check the next man.
Yeah.
I have had situations where friends of mine I messed with a married man before years ago, right? I would never do that again. So if somebody approached me in a fashion or a way that is not of just, I would simply say like, what's going on with you? You got a woman. You know, I'm not one of them females that'll just move forward because I'm lonely or my own personal.
You're loyal.
Self. I'm very loyal in every relationship.
Give it up for loyal.
But
Watch it.
I just think men do not, or people do not act out certain words. Like love is an action. It's not,
Yes.
it's an action.
It's a verb.
It's an action.
Yes.
So to be a husband is an action. When we as women, you know, we don't have children. When we become a mother, we become a different person immediately. Like we're born to do that, you know. And so when we become a wife, we hold it down. And I do believe that a relationship is hard work.
It's
like
work.
you have to really fill out an application and then do your duties. Be eligible first and fulfill every duty. And it's going to be tons of distractions. But I do believe in every relationship, no matter what, if it's work or whatever, you should and it will be better with a partner. And if that person isn't being a partner, then, you know, it's going to fail.
I have a question.
And, go ahead.
You said you're currently out of this relationship.
And we still going through it, to be honest. I stayed last night at a friend's that I know.
I'm sorry, you did what?
I stayed last night at
You
a
stayed
friend's
last night?
place.
You're not out of this relationship.
I wasn't with him.
At a
but
friend's
he was
place,
at-
bro.
Are you about to
You're
tell
not
us
out of the
all your
relationship.
business up in this
Give a
thing?
shit. All we're going to do is die one day.
No.
I don't give a shit. I
But,
tell
kid,
it all.
but I'm seriously, if you don't feel comfortable, I don't want you to share it.
Oh,
However, at the same time, I am going to get to a common ground here because you're in a unique situation. And I don't think you understand how unique your situation is. You said he spent how many years in jail?
20.
Okay, so this man spent 20 years in jail. It's not about you. He has 20 years of freedom that he's trying to make up for. He also has 20 years of maturing and growing that he has not experienced yet because he's been in a box. So your situation, unfortunately, is very simple. Either you're going to exercise the patience to let him grow into the man he needs to, or you're going to, or you need to leave.
Yeah.
It's really that simple.
So I want out.
You can't, yeah, because I heard what I heard you say was other men can do blah blah blah. You can't compare him to. Ain't too many other men that
his
spent 20
position,
years in prison. So that's the only comparison you had.
What? So before prison, we were in a relationship. Right. We always communicated throughout his prison time. And when he came home, I don't know, it's just something that came natural, I guess. We still had that attraction. Of course, we all misuse sex. We're all like,
Yeah.
we do. And so, I mean, I know what I'm working with. He wasn't going to say that again.
It ain't private if you ask in front of everybody.
Yeah. We was messing with each other. He wasn't my first, but we messed with each other. Nah, it just, yeah. I think it was. I think, and even now, I'm choosing to, when I meet gentlemen, to really get to know someone before moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it was. I think it was pretty much. It was. I can't hear you. Okay. I mean, we had a child. We have a 4-year-old son now.
Oh, he's been home for a while?
He's been home since 2014.
Oh, yeah, okay. He's been home 6 years.
So you got a child, how old?
4.
Okay. Rich, what was your question?
Okay.
Say what now? Speak up, man.
He's an ex-offender. I heard.
Okay.
Came home, did good. Whereas didn't work out. But at the same time, I did well by myself. It wasn't behind this, that, or the other. It's behind me doing well for you, you doing well for me. It's not like when you said you irked me one time.
What is it?
He didn't do nothing.
He didn't do anything?
He was, what did you say? Maybe I put it wrong. He was,
She don't even remember, bro.
No, because I was about to say, once he came to, like, he look out, and he still do.
but when a man got home, you have to be that stone.
That's what I'm getting back to her point.
You have to be that stone.
That's what get back to her point with her lying. I mean, it is a broad situation, but I was that stone, I was that rock, and that's what I was saying. He was.
Yeah, that's unique. That's unique.
We're going through it now. I just found out he was cheating on January 12th.
But that's what I'm saying. Sure.
You do.
That makes your flesh feels like it's on fire. That right there is what people call a spiritual soul tie, right? But that's not necessarily a God-ordained tie. See, if it doesn't grow you physically, if it doesn't make you grow physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially, in all those areas simultaneously, then it's not for you.
But that's the problem, Olivia. We talking about somebody. You're talking about somebody that's been in jail 20 years. You're not growing that. That's what I'm saying. So this is my question. This is my question.
14. She said 14 years.
This is my question. This is my question. And once we clear this, we gotta move on. My question is this: what were you doing within those 20 years?
That's what I'm saying. We can't. It's a lot probably to this, so
That's a lot to
we don't
unpack.
want to dive too
That's
much
a lot to
into
unpack.
all of that because we'll be here all night talking about that.
I mean, it's a unique situation.
Yeah,
though.
that's what I'm saying.
Right,
Yeah.
it's a unique situation.
Yeah, then it's your question.
Hold up,
Hold on.
hold up.
Please, no sidebar conversations. Please.
Right.
And so on January 12th of this year, I found that he was sleeping with his best friend's ex.
Oh boy.
Right?
Wow.
And
Right, that's a lot.
And she lives in Woodland.
Okay, all right. Because you about to go in, so yeah, nah.
Yeah, we're gonna kill all that. We're gonna kill all of that. So
Pause.
next lady.
Any other
Next lady.
want to deal with the topic at hand?
Yeah. We'll talk to you after the show.
Right. That's off camera.
Right.
Let's get back to
I
that.
want to get back to your topic
Uh-huh.
on why you men act the way you do.
Well, while we hurt you, what do you
Exactly.
think? Yeah.
And one thing I don't know about these women in the room, but when I've been taught is I always like to see the relationship that you have with your mother. Because to me, the way you treat your mother is typically the way you're going to treat your wife. So when you all are here, I don't know if you were in relationships, find out what the relationship was with the mother. The mother of, yes.
What if your mother treats you like garbage?
So I'm a. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and ruffle some feathers on that statement. A lot of women have been. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
Me,
Uh-huh.
I'm 53.
So a lot of women your age range, that is what you've been taught. I understand it. To keep it a buck, we don't sleep with our mother. So that's a horrible way to view it, and I'm gonna tell you why. The way we treat our mother, I'm gonna tell you why. Listen, the way we treat our mother, no woman will ever come to that, and I'm gonna tell you why. A mother is always there for us no matter what. There's been times we've been in all kinds of trouble. That mother is going to be there. There's been times that we've had nothing, and that mother found a way to give us something. So when you look at it, you gotta look at it like the way you go out your way for your son. You don't go out your way like that for your husband or your boyfriend. So that's a horrible way to view your man because it's a different element.
I mean, Paul, I agree with you that a mother's love is truly unconditional. I guess the thing is, could you love a man the same way that you love your child? Right, I mean, that's what we're getting to. Is your love for him conditional? If he makes a mistake, are you willing to give him that kind of grace that a mother gives? The child can make a mistake after mistake after mistake, and the mother still has that child grace. Can you give a man that kind of grace?
All men deserve that kind of grace. Because women make mistakes just as much as men. No, listen. We can unanimously agree that nobody is perfect, correct? So if you can unanimously agree that nobody is perfect, then everybody deserves that chance, male or female. Right. Go ahead.
You asked a question about why we mistrust, not how we veered, but I feel like there was a mistrust. The mistrust comes from, we've talked about this, the lack of, roles, the moral compass that we went away from. Men and women alike have cheated through the ages of time. So I can't even use that as as an example of what it's like to be in a relationship, right? Because women have accepted their men back after cheating. Men have accepted their women back after cheating. And having, kids out of those situations. But for whatever reason, I feel like the role of a man has shifted, and the role of a woman has definitely shifted. And, we're speaking generally, but just in my experience, right? Like, I have been left to hold the bag multiple times, right? Like, and I don't want to, but if I'm the resourceful one, then I'm going to take care of it, right? And we talked about this the last time. I'm loyal to a fault, right? But I believe in loyalty because if I'm riding with you, we gonna ride to the end, through your ebbs and your flows, right? But it is very disheartening sometimes when the woman is the one who has to always be on top. When I want to, follow my man. Like I want to do that. Like I'm naturally built that way. However, I'm opinionated, but I mean, I'm naturally built that way. And I think women are built that way, but for some reason, things have definitely shifted.
What's that reason? What's that reason? You said for some reason, what's that reason?
I guess that's the question that I'm asking.
No. I want to hear from the ladies, because every lady that got spoken
You
with.
know why that was shifted. Y'all the men, y'all know how you shifted. I ain't shifted.
I mean, look, I'm asking all the ladies.
What is that reason? What do you feel that reason
I'm
is?
going to ask all the ladies really built to follow. Because no. Now, okay, if you are, then here's the question. Do you know how? Because no, there are a lot of, let's be honest, there are a lot of women that will date a guy and don't know what a strong man looks like because you dealt with bums so long that when you meet a strong one, you're going to bump heads a lot.
Because women,
there are some, but there are some.
you just answered your own question.
There are some.
But you just answered your own question.
Let D answer.
So I think that we were built to follow. However, the ball has dropped from the people that we were supposed to be following.
Who is the people?
The men.
Who's the people? Thank you.
Thank you. The ball has dropped for variety of reasons.
Right.
Name three.
Well, it's just how society has created. We can go all the way back to
Mass incarceration.
that. We can go all the way back to the Bible times. However, when it comes, women are supervisors now. Men are supervisors now. But I know for myself, when I come home, I don't want to be a supervisor. Right. I'm ready to, you go ahead and make the decisions, go ahead. But a lot of times, in my experience, sometimes the man doesn't want to make the decision. They want to be, and even though we may share the same, I work just like, oh, you're a supervisor, I'm a supervisor. But when I come home, trust me, I don't want to make the decision. You choose where we eat, because I just want to eat.
Y'all can't make y'all mind no goddamn.
I don't want
That was a bad example.
Hey, look.
That was a bad example.
I was riding with her until she said that. So she said, you choose where to eat.
Because I'm making a lot of difficult decisions, just like you're making a lot of difficult decisions at work. So I want to come home and be that. I don't want to use the S word.
You say me. We get ready to go to
But do you get that conversation fully?
Yes, I do.
But the thing about it, yeah, no, go ahead.
No, seriously. Exactly what you're saying. I said,
but because of how society has diminishment, it's not that way. And so when you do come, and so as a woman, we have had to pick up the slack. Because, I'm not blaming you all, just because how have society...
No, you should.
What I'm saying is just because how society has diminished you all from slavery, from whatever. And so but even in, and that's that, I love the church, but even in the church, I love the church, I believe in the foundation and all of that, but even in the church, where is the necessary? They talk all the time, and people get on the pulpits all the time to talk about how women need to be submissive, but you rarely hear about, you don't always hear all the time about the accountability for a man. We're supposed to be submissive.
and being legal.
Because of the hurt.
What church you go to? I hear it all.
Because of the hurt and the thing. So that's all
There is not a place, let me explain this to you. There is not a place a black man can turn where he doesn't hear that he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing.
So here's the thing. In my household, I raised 3 black men. 3. And what I made sure I did, since the time that they came on this earth, I didn't yell at them, I didn't demasculate them. I didn't tell them what they can't do, I never put them down for what they didn't do. I told them
them that they were kids. I told them that they could do all things exceedingly beyond. And even when they disappointed me, I told them, it's okay. See, because I know that you're more than a conqueror. So what I did was I pushed into them, not the yelling voice, not the angry black woman, not the doubt.
That's what you did to your kids. Right. What are you doing to the man you're dealing with?
I was left to raise three black men by myself. And what I didn't know was how to raise them as men. I didn't know that part.
Okay.
And no one taught me, and I couldn't be taught how to raise three black men, and I couldn't expect myself to understand how a man should feel. But what I could do was not emasculate him. So that's what I did do. And with that, I was like, okay, cool. I got 3 sons. I'm a single mom. I got to do this solo. But what I'm not going to do is shake them of their manhood. I can't teach them their manhood, but I'm going to shake them of it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to push into them everything that society says the opposite, that they're not supposed to be what they really are.
So you create a man that's looking for you, but still don't have to decide what he
I didn't know what can I do? What can I do to put on in my own?
Mark, she literally just told you she had to do it by herself.
Can I see that?
There is no other side. She did what she had to do. That's what she just told you.
I'm not talking about her. I'm saying
Here it is.
point.
Here it is. Wait. Here it is. Big Mama. You all, as I look at you all, the 40-year-olds and above, Big Mama. We had one. Paul had Big Mama. I had Big Mama. Paul knows my Big Mama. So therefore, ain't no that I validate everything you said, sister. But guess what we had? Big mamas. They didn't give a damn about nothing. Nothing.
Some big mamas have.
Where you going with this?
So are we saying that? So is this? Are you saying that women are responsible for men failing to have I can't go there.
Let me finish what I was saying.
Okay. Where you going with this?
Right now. He had a big mama. I had a big mama. He's a man. He's an asshole, but he's a man.
No. Listen. Let me clear the air. This is where Rich is going. For those that don't know, this is my story.
Yes.
My father abandoned me for his drug habit.
Yes.
When I was 3 years old, my father chose his drug habit over being a father to me and my mother. My grandmother
Big Mama
was that father figure for me because my grandmother would literally shank a nigga, shoot a nigga, whatever it took. Slow down. Whatever it took to protect her family.
Right.
So I get what you're saying.
My grandma.
The problem is no woman should be put in that position. That's the problem. It is our job as men to protect our family, to protect our women. And kid, if we left this, once this is over and we leave, if you see a woman getting beat up by a dude in the middle of the street, you gonna stop?
Yeah, he's on his head.
And that's my point. It's not about just in a relationship with that woman. See, where we dropped the ball was we compartmentalized things to only with the woman we dealing with. So I'm not gonna hold the door open. I don't know her. I ain't messing with her. Or I'm not gonna do this or do that because I'm not involved with her. It is our responsibility as men to protect our women.
Horrible job of protecting.
And that's where we drop the ball.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Society in general.
Right.
Our kids, period.
Right. This,
Period. Period.
Well, can I?
you're absolutely right. It's the same thing with kids. Exactly. If a kid.
Now,
Yep.
Can I?
Yep.
I agree.
Can
I agree.
My father owned. I don't know how many people know Amica.
Mm-hmm.
You know where I grew up in LeDroy Park. You know where Fraser's at.
Mm-hmm.
My father owned the Amica. Owned it. He instilled in me. Before he died. Whatever. And my grandmother, that's why, man, I love you, brother. I love you, brother. You are like, this guy right here, it's hard to deal with.
Let's get back to topic.
Let's get back
Let's get back on the subject.
Let's get back to topic. Listen.
So getting back. So getting back to what
But
Paul.
at the same time,
So get.
Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. So.
Because black men do not get the foundation from the mother. We as mothers are supposed to give our children the foundation.
So if you want me to be 100% candid, and I thank God right now that my mother is not watching.
I mean, I had to dissect it a little bit.
But to keep it a buck, here's the disservice that the black woman does to a son when she's by herself. The disservice, and I'm speaking from personal experience, in addition to conversations I've had with various people. In my line of work, I know a lot of stories about a lot of people that I am not legally binded to discuss. But the disservice that the black woman does to her black son when she is left to take care of him without his father is this. You pour all your pain into that son. So instead of teaching him how to treat a woman, you teach him what not to deal with from a woman. And that's where the problem is, because I was never taught how to treat a woman. I was taught what signs to watch out for. I was taught what signs to watch out for. And when I saw those signs, I immediately cut them off. So it did a disservice to pretty much any woman I dated, even the marriage I was in, because I didn't have these skills taught to me.
Right.
The problem is the problem is this.
So you're saying you never saw a man. You
never
saw
saw
a man show you how to
Never
deal
saw
with
that.
those particular issues.
Never saw that.
Because we have to.
You didn't have an
Right. Because we have to learn how to treat women. Like, let's be.
For all intensive purposes. For all intensive purposes, I'm a latchkey kid.
Right.
So if you know, no sidebar conversation.
The sound gonna be real.
No
messed up,
sidebar
everybody
conversation.
talking at the same time.
If you know,
I know.
What
Go
you
ahead,
say?
Go ahead. Soon as you finish, she going.
If you know what a latchkey kid is, I pretty much raised myself. So anything I learned from being a quote unquote man, I learned from being in the street. Now the downfall of that is I came up in the era, and anybody that knows me knows I mentor kids. I mentor young men between the ages of 13 to 21. My first line whenever I'm talking to a bunch of kids is, my generation failed you. I don't lie to them. Reason being is, I came up in an era where it was, we don't love them hoes.
Yeah.
And by me not having a father to show me the way, that's how I maneuvered when it dealt with
But
women.
didn't your mother give you unconditional love?
Again.
That's
But
different.
again, that is a different dynamic.
But that's
because
not
what you
learning how to.
Ho. Because somebody was waiting real patiently to
That's
say
a
their point.
different dynamic because that's my mother. I know without a question that regardless of what I do, whatever trouble I get into, whatever mistake I make, moms ain't going nowhere. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to a female I'm dealing with, I can do whatever I cannot squeeze the tube in the toothpaste the right way for her, and she already done threw in the towel. So it's a different dynamic.
Right.
I know my mother not going nowhere.
Right. Just real quick.
I have to
just
say,
real quick. Just real quick.
I
I just
was
want to
a
say that.
single
Go ahead.
I was a single mother, and I taught my son how to treat women. I remember when he wanted to take his high school girlfriend out, and I was like, Dad, I gotta give him money every week for dinner and the movies. I said, well, Damon, won't you allow her to pay for the movies and you pay for dinner?
No.
Okay.
You know
and
what he told me?
Look.
I would never have a female pay
No.
for me.
Well, look. I know. And look. That's commendable, right?
And I
Look.
said,
All right. Sidebar.
and I
Like,
wasn't-
no.
and I couldn't be upset
That's
with him. I couldn't be upset with him.
that. That's commendable.
I could not be upset with him.
That's
But
commendable, and
I have to say,
that's.
I have a really good village.
I was
but-
raised by a single mother too. That's commendable. Here's the thing, right? You can teach us how to treat y'all, but you can't teach us how to deal with you. When women go through emotional things, a lot of times if we never saw a man.
No sidebar conversations,
listen to a
please.
woman.
Let me get some of that grandma.
No sidebar conversations, please.
When we've never seen a man we've never seen a man deal with the woman that may be going through something, like how they interact. If she's upset, how to talk to her, how to calm her down, how to not just turn and run away from her when she has an emotional moment. Because if we don't know how to deal with that, if we've never learned that, we're gonna run from it. Like when all we see is y'all going through pain and like we don't want to deal with that. We've never seen it. Like when you have a father in the household and the mother's upset about something, they may go in the room, close the door, and talk to her that way, right? Or you may see a father do nothing but yell at a woman all the time, yelling and fighting and fighting. We learn what we see. If we've never seen a man deal with the woman, then we don't really know how to do it.
Hey Ron,
So-
to piggyback off what you just said, no lie, I'm not making this up. I had a best friend in my college years, and I will never forget something his father told us. And then on top of that, I had a neighbor that said the same exact thing my best friend at the time's father told me. These are two totally different men. They don't know each other from a can of paint. You know what they said?
What's that?
You know what they told me? The best way to deal with your wife is to have a woman on the side. The best way to deal with your wife is to have a woman on the side.
Wow. Wow.
On the side.
Wow.
He's just showing you how toxic men have been through the
Yes.
years. Now,
That-
please go ahead.
Yes, please, yes, please, yes.
Give your comment. I'm
Wow
sorry.
to that.
It's fine. So I think, right, for me, like the point, getting back to like the point, right? And so it was like, why is there this distrust and this disconnect? And it's just so ironic to me, like, Paul, as I was listening to you speak, like you started off by telling your story, but then when you got to what you wanted us to hear, you said the disservice that your mother did to you. So it removed, like you removed all the responsibility off of whatever the reality was, like your situation was. And so for me, I'm left to feel like we have been put in these positions where we have to do what we have to do, but then when shit hits the fan, we are the ones blamed for whatever goes wrong. And
You totally misunderstood everything I said if that's what you took.
So no, what I'm saying is when you said that and you mentioned that what the disservice that your mother did was she didn't do X, Y, and Z. I related to that statement because I have been made to feel like that, which has caused me to have a distrust in men, right? Because I'm left to feel as though because of things that have been done to me, I had to do and move in a certain area and move in a certain way. But then if shit goes bad, I then have to take the blame for that, even though I didn't choose to be put into the
Well, let me say, I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong for speaking for you, but when he said, and when he used the word disservice, I don't think he was at least I didn't look at it like he was blaming women for it. It's almost like that disservice is a byproduct of our disservice. That disservice, that thing that happened with women and how they relate to their sons, is a product of what we did. So ultimately it's not her fault, it's our fault because we kicked that disservice off. You understand what I'm saying? Is that kind of correct?
It's a trigger.
So I actually understand that. And so let me say this. So the word, as we've talked about things being triggers, right, may have just been a trigger for me, right, in my experience and what I feel has happened in my circle and, and the people that I'm with, that where this distrust has come from is based on that. Probably absolutely where you were going with it, right, is the experiences that we have had is that we are oftentimes made to feel like things have happened to us because of choices that we've made. Like the responsibility is not just put on the fact that maybe he just wasn't a good dude, right? Because the question that comes back to us is, you didn't see the signs? No, bitch, I didn't see it, right? Like I didn't see it. I didn't. I didn't.
Hey, Shirley.
I didn't.
Hey, Shirley.
I did not. You can't do.
Hey, Charity. Charity.
No, I didn't see the
Hey,
signs.
Charity.
Regardless of what anybody says, and so that.
Hey, Charity. Charity.
Yes.
Real talk?
Yes.
I agree with you 100%. You don't see the signs. You don't. You know what? It is not. It's not. You know why you don't see signs? You know why you don't see signs? Because it's phases. When you just dating, that sign is tolerable. When you just dating, that sign is tolerable. You don't realize how bad it is till you get in too deep. When you are just dating, it's not.
No, but
it's not.
That wasn't the point being
It's
made.
not.
Let me be clear.
Hey, check this out.
The sign may have
Check
been
this out.
there, but I didn't. No,
Check this out.
Yo, this
Check
is
this out.
bad. We gotta chill out.
Check this out.
Even if the sign was there, the point, like I didn't see it for whatever reason because of my faith or whatever that I had in him, maybe not. But so people, what has come up?
Was your faith in yourself? See, here's the thing: when you separate like self-love from loving someone else, then yeah, you don't see the signs, you don't see the forest and the trees. You wearing rose-colored glasses. You are walking around you with a flashlight looking for in the daylight. You are blind. But when you are thinking about what is in your best interest, for real, I'm talking about for what's in your best interest from your heart, from what's your soul. You see the signs. They come to you. God does not.
I disagree.
So let me say this. I feel like everything that you're saying is very relevant, but for me personally, I'm not the girl who.
I'm gonna ask y'all a unanimous. I'm gonna ask y'all a unanimous question.
Love make you stupid. We gotta keep it real.
I'm gonna ask all of y'all. I'm gonna ask all y'all a unanimous question. I'm gonna ask all of you a unanimous question. I'm 95% certain the answer will be unanimous.
What's that, Paul?
Is everybody selfish?
Yes.
So if everybody is selfish, how do you see the signs? Because again, it's phases. If you and I just talking, we only went out on 1 or 2 dates, your sign of being selfish is not going to disrupt my peace. It's no. Your sign. He's wrong. But he's wrong.
I disagree.
He's totally wrong. He's totally wrong because it's a level. There is a level of selfishness that everyone can deal with, and then there's a level that you can't deal with. You don't see the level that you can't deal with until you get too deep. Prime example. It's bullshit. Let me tell you how it's not bullshit. Want me to tell you how it's not bullshit? You want me to tell you? I'm not. If you only think we your dick, then that's your problem. But I'm gonna tell you flat out how that's wrong. I'm gonna tell you how that's wrong. How many times in hindsight have you looked back and said I shouldn't have fucked with this broad? Yes or no? How many times in hindsight have you looked back? You know why? Do you know why? Do you know why?
Here we go.
You said the signs don't be there. I said the signs are there from Jump Street.
They are not.
You agree with her that she don't see the signs. That's bullshit, because the signs are there off the jump. And I'm like, oh, I got the mic now. Hold up, I got the mic now.
No.
The signs are there
Ladies
for
and
jump for this
gentlemen,
reason.
They're
Tell you
not.
why the
We
signs
have
are there.
lost
They're
You
not.
just said you look back in hindsight.
What I just said
It's whatever.
for everybody in the room who heard me except you,
It ain't
what
even
I
no
just
need.
said
Time.
was
It's
unanimously everybody is selfish. Everybody agreed that that's true. So you cannot say the sign was there from jump because everybody has that trait. There is levels to it that determines what you can and can't deal with.
Bruh.
You don't see what you can't deal with until you've gone too deep. You was cool. It's not a lie. You was cool with the chick you was cool with the chick you was with until you had a baby with her. And then you saw how destructive she was, and now in hindsight, you said, I should have never got her pregnant. Cut it out. Cut that shit out.
I'm not going for that. You can walk
You
out.
full of shit.
Walk out. Make sure you walk all the way
like I
out.
said, we have lost complete control.
The signs ain't there, man.
The control is lost.
Cut that shit out.
It's lost. Thank y'all for continuing to tune in.
You ready? You ready?
Go ahead.
Now stamp what you said. Facts. But guess what? If you can hindsight some shit, motherfucker, you saw the fucking red motherfucking flag.
You did not. That's why it's called hindsight.
Let him go.
That's why it's called hindsight.
Let him go.
Own your shit.
Time out. Let him go.
Hold up. Time out. I kinda. Hold up. Reel it in.
Go ahead.
Yo, we reel it in.
Time out.
Can we reel it in? No, Mark. Hold up, Mark.
Mark has the floor.
Let me go,
We
Mark.
got the next one after him.
Hey.
Mark.
Woo!
All right, hold tight.
Mark has,
Everybody, hold tight.
Mark has
We
the
gonna let the
floor,
brother
and
finish
then
his
Mark
point,
has the floor, and
and then
Ashley
we're going to go to the
next.
sister in the
I'm
back.
gonna finish my point. Pass the mic.
Go ahead.
We too old for the bullshit.
Hold on, hold.
We too old for the bullshit.
Go ahead.
Fact of the matter is, I don't give a fuck what relationship you put me in. I can always look back and be like, nigga, you should have left at that point, this point, that point, whatever. And I can pick all my faults for the shit that I picked or the motherfucker I chose that was wrong for me. So for me to say I didn't see the red flags, bullshit, because I can
You're lying to
clearly see
yourself.
the motherfuckers.
Mark, I agree. Because once we're in
Hold on, let him finish.
Man, chill the fuck out. Y'all want to know what the fuck wrong? Y'all ain't ready. I can clearly see all the bullshit that I did that was on me.
I'm agreeing with you.
Fuck putting that shit on somebody else.
I'm agreeing with you.
Let him talk.
I can clearly put all my shit on me for any female that I ever dealt with that wasn't right for me. I had a kid by her, married her, whatever the fuck, and I got a story, so fuck out of here. So, to say all that shit, that is motherfucking you didn't see the red flags, bullshit. She was either bad enough that you kept fucking with her, her ass was fat enough that you kept fucking with her, she had a good motherfucking, she had possibilities. Whatever the fuck you want to say. You saw the red fucking flags. You chose to ignore them motherfuckers because what you saw.
Why did you choose to ignore him?
I'm trying to tell you why you fucking ignored them. Because what you saw was more important than what the fuck she was as an individual.
No.
The fact of the matter is if she was a motherfucking right one, and you could have
If she was a right.
Get the fuck out.
he's
All right,
He's not right. He's not right.
All right, hold tight.
I want to hear this. I'm not going to
Hold tight.
I'm not commenting, but I'm going to start moderating because we need some goddamn order.
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you, Tam.
You got the floor, young lady. You got the floor.
Speak up.
So you're operating under the assumption that at the very beginning of a relationship, someone reveals their total self to you.
Thank you.
If someone is revealing their total self to you, well then how do you, if I'm in a relationship with someone.
And that's how he's not right.
Let her finish.
You don't fully know a person for him to be right in what he's saying.
Discernment, because your question is discernment. Discernment will not come in until you are deeper in that relationship. So phase one, there aren't any signs because I haven't revealed my whole self to you just like you haven't to me. So you cannot say at the inception of a relationship that there are signs that you were able to but you have people are close walking into a relationship.
Call that nigga light skin.
Yo. All jokes aside, man, we gotta respect the floor.
You said aside, say that one more time. That they have not revealed themselves totally.
Why should she? She don't know you.
Ho. Agreed. Yeah, the representative sticks around for a while.
Hold up.
The representative can ride for a long time until the rubber hits the road. All right, so hold up, Mark.
But you still gonna run across red flags. I don't care who you are, what you do, how you try to hide it, whatever. Your true person gonna show no matter what. And I guarantee you, I take you on a date, I can pull your red flags. Because if you've been doing it long enough, you know what the fuck to look for.
Again, that's not the problem. That's not the problem. It's not the problem.
Hold up.
It's a very, listen. It's a very simple.
Hold up, Ron got the floor. Go ahead, Ron. Hold up.
All right, so in this whole scope of the conversation, the one thing I understand, like I see both sides of this conversation, right? I see both sides of it because I understand where Mark is coming from the perspective of when you're dating somebody, and you know what? There may be signs, but you like them, so you overlook stuff in the beginning. You'll look past it. Now y'all get to having sex and it's good. It may get a little bigger, but you're still looking past it because you enjoy the good stuff. You enjoy all the great stuff, so you're overlooking some things. But once you get in deep, like Paul said, now the flag is here, but now you're in deep. So how do you get out? Right? See, we see stuff, but we'll run that red light because you want what you want.
Look.
No, that's the selfish part. We are selfish to the point where we'll ignore stuff to get what it is we want.
No.
You're trying to make a person be something they're not. We all do that. You will date a woman or you will date a man.
This is what y'all. This is what y'all.
The real all day long, and you'll overlook it.
This is what you want. This is what y'all fail.
That's real. We overlook stuff.
This is what y'all fail. This is what y'all fail to accept. What you fail to accept is this. I'll go back to my analogy of being selfish. We all agree that everybody is selfish. There's certain levels to being selfish. So if your level of selfishness is you want attention, he don't have to spend money on you. He don't have to do none of that. He can just give you compliments. He can just spend time with you at his leisure. That's your version of being selfish. He can deal with that. He's cool with that.
Paul, can you
That-
understand? Can you understand that?
Can you let me finish?
Sometimes somebody.
Can you let me finish?
Sometimes somebody.
Can
be
you
something
let me
selfish that makes
finish?
Somebody be something they're
Can you let me finish? If that is her version of selfish that she's showing to you in the dating phase, you cool with that, you gonna go forward. If she show you off the break, she don't give a fuck about what you think, is what she want regardless, you not gonna go forward. That's my point. It ain't about seeing the signs, it's levels to the signs. In the beginning, you see a level you can deal with. You don't see a level that you can't deal with until you're in too deep.
Sometimes we can be so selfish that we'll try to make somebody be something that they're really not equipped to be.
Then you're stupid.
And we.
Then you're stupid.
There are plenty of dudes out here that have seen a woman and she's fine.
Ain't no way in two heads I'ma make her to be something she's not.
She have a personality that's trash.
said,
She may be a woman that loves attention, right? But because you want that, you're gonna chase it and you're gonna hit it because that's what you want. And then when the real her shows up, now you a mess.
That ain't got nothing to do with her. That she wants some ass. The fuck out of here.
That's called being.
That ain't her, that's you.
That's called being selfish.
No,
That's called being
we not
selfish.
talking about that. We talking about her level of being selfish. That's totally different.
No, it's selfish. It's all selfish.
I'm getting drunk now. I don't care.
It's all selfishness, right?
No.
Is it all
I'm
selfish?
taking it. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore.
No.
I don't care anymore.
No, that's a totally that's totally different. Totally different.
want to get back to the topic at hand, though. The topic, hold up.
That's a totally different subject.
Was, how do we deal with the mistrust, right? So just like in his scenario that he just put, when he said that he commented to this young lady of when you getting to know somebody, how do you get to know somebody? I said, so I think my question is, how can men and women, even in the dating phase, how do you get to that next level without that representative being presented? We all have a representative, right? So, hold tight. We all have a representative.
If he bring up Big
right?
Mama.
Right.
So when you first meet somebody, you don't know anything about them. You solely going off the look. You have to, you know what I'm saying? You might seen them out. You want to get their number. Y'all start talking. So as to, I forgot what young lady, when do you start bringing out that, you know, oh, what I like and I don't, I dislike, and that goes to what you were saying about people knowing the red flags. How do you see red flags? How do you know
I have
red
an opinion
flags?
on that.
When you know nothing about the person.
I have an opinion on that.
So what flags are you seeing?
Hold up. Tamara, can I speak to that?
My comment is everybody need therapy.
If you go,
That's my comment.
Hey,
everybody need therapy.
If you go,
and that's it.
If you tomorrow, if you gonna give him the floor, give him the mic.
That's the last thing I'm gonna say. You should.
Please talk into the mic.
It don't matter. We can't hear you. People talking.
That he tried to get you to pay for dinner, and that makes him, or he wanted, he cheap, whatever. It don't matter. Your red flags are your red flags. Those are things that make you look at that person and be like, something about him ain't right. That's your gut, that's your spirit, that's everything telling you that this person ain't right for you. But how many women, because y'all run the show, let's keep it 1,000, right? Y'all run it. Whether we get it or not is based on y'all, right? Oh, he looked like this, he looked like that, he got this, he got that. At the end of the day, guess what? If he get that ass, because that's all it's about at the end of the day, let's keep it 1,000. Now, he might want to be...
Nigga, we over 40. Ain't nobody
That's all
care
it's
about that. God damn.
That's all it's about?
We over 40.
That's all it's about?
Okay, he might want to be with her for free. No, I'm just playing. He might want to be with her for free. But he ain't trying to be with her for 2 years and never fuck, so let's keep it 1,000. End of the day, most dudes, at the end of the day, they trying to either find out whether she the one, he gonna want to sleep with her, and he wanted to be something worthwhile to stick around, like to make a relationship out of it. So, at the end of the day, he might, whatever it is that your red flag is, her red flag is, whatever. You know there are moments when your spirit's telling you this person ain't right for you, but the physicality of shit makes you go forward.
That's true.
Hold on.
Nah, no, hold up. I ain't done
That's
yet.
what I want to speak on. Jesus Christ.
That's true.
You got it.
Move forward. So
That's the
but
problem.
At the end of the day, Women, y'all hold the motherfucking accountability to that shit. Cause guess
But
what? Ain't
no,
Jesus Christ.
No.
Don't say hoe, cause ain't no dude gonna fuck somebody, right? If she don't want it. Now,
Huh?
According to your logic, you doing everything you can to get it, which means you lying to her.
Can one of the hosts speak real quick? I want to speak to this. Tamara, I want to speak to what you just... Look.
But guess what? It's about red flags, motherfucker. That's what we talking about.
I want to get back to your question,
So
Tamara,
shut the
all right?
fuck up. Because if she was
Tamara.
paying attention to the red flags.
Tamara, I want to get back to your question. You asked the question. All right, Tamara.
Hold tight.
You asked about.
Hold tight.
Real quick.
You asked about.
Ho. Real quick.
You want to end the joke?
Real quick. Hey.
P. All right.
We're gonna take a quick 5-minute intermission because
15.
It's gone too far.
Hold tight, for real. Hold tight. Hold on.
we're gonna take a quick 5-minute intermission so that you all can get yourselves together. Because it's too much sidebar conversation. Rich, it's too much sidebar conversation, but then when somebody asks you for your input, you don't want to grab the fucking mic. So we're going to take a 5-minute break so you can get yourselves together.
This wasn't on camera.
And then we can go to part 2 of this conversation. There's
Go
food
get y'all
in the
some
back.
food, man.
Go get something to eat, get something to drink, and we can resume in 5 minutes.
Like 15.
Real talk. What good is it for y'all to have so much to say sidebar? But when we want,
We all said something. What are you talking about? We're talking amongst ourselves. We're elaborating on what was told, what was said. But your boy, he got
Light skin. I got it for his ass. He the one.
Put the liquor.
Let me go say
Hide it,
something.
okay? He don't
I
even
need a hug.
He was hugging Bo like a Build-A-Bear and shit.
We need a hug.
Look, so why when I was trying to bring the chair around, right? You were trying to come into me like this other time.
Who you know? Check. Who you know? Say who you know. Who you know go hard, harder than I go. In another galaxy, man, fuck an iPhone. I wouldn't walk in your shoes, I wouldn't try those. Your fashion sense this, man, why you buy those? Who you know walks success down with a blindfold? Man, my flow too sick, your shit a mile cold. I ain't reached my ceiling, if so, it's all gold. I got it all from my connect, it's still a short load. When the police ask questions, some stories untold. When the static we blasting, them burners unload. See them fiends on that water until that shit froze. Man, my girl, she a beaut, man, she a black rose. All soul, and yeah, she with Mr. No Fold. Take a peek at your balance, you see it's all sold. Without faith, this shit would just be a long road. Stack bread in the safe until that shit all mold. If it ain't about God, you follow the wrong codes. If I ain't on the stage, you came to the wrong shows. I hear you supposed to be gangster wearing those hard clothes. Social media tough guys, niggas all trolls. The pressure on you until you fold or your heart closed. I did it all for my family hood and my main bros. I'm reinvented, but young and cook on the same stove. Who you know changed his name, but still he remain bold. Me. Say who you know. Say who you know. Who you know. I say, what you gotta work? When I feel like
Right.
it? Fuck out of here. You got time to work out?
Right.
Fuck you mean when I feel
Right.
like it? Next time you walk up, nigga, you better walk out the room, motherfucker. All the way the fuck out. Don't be doing this half-ass shit.
That's what shit. You want to punch him in his fucking
Oh,
face.
look.
Who you know go hard, harder than I go. In another galaxy, man, fuck an iPhone. I wouldn't walk in your shoes, I wouldn't try those. Your fashion sense this, man, why you buy those? Who you know walk success down with a blindfold? Man, my flow too sick, your shit a mouth cold. I ain't reached my ceiling, if so, it's all gold. I got it all from my connect, it's still a sure low. When the police ask questions, some stories untold. When the static, we blasting them burners unload. See them fiends on that water until that shit froze. Man, my girl, she a beaut, man, she a black rose. All soul, and yeah, she with Mr. No Fold. Take a peek at your balance, you see it's all sold. Without faith, this shit would just be a long road. Stack bread in the safe until that shit all mold. If it ain't about God, you follow the wrong codes. If I ain't on the stage, you came to the wrong shows. I hear you supposed to be gangster wearing those hard clothes. Social media tough guys, niggas all trolls. The pressure on you until you fold or your heart closed. I did it all for my family hood and my main bros. I'm reinvented but young and cook on the same stove. Who you know changed his name but still he remain bold. Me. Say who you know. Say who you know. Who you know.
Tissue! That's an understatement. That's an understatement. That nigga is barbecue chicken. Listen. I'm going to be as upfront and transparent as possible. How you doing, brother? You can't be inviting people and don't introduce. Paul, man, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Good. Oh, okay. I'm going to be as open and transparent as possible. However,
we back on. We on.
All of us are over 40, correct?
I'm 25. I don't know what y'all talking about.
I mean, you know,
I'm 25.
You can emotionally say you whatever. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be a pilot.
Why everybody else can be whatever they want to be.
We're not touching that topic tonight. We're not touching that topic tonight. Hey, all jokes aside, we're all over 40, correct?
Uh-huh.
Who under 40? That is correct. That is correct. Same rule applies. You're not that far off. We need to respect everybody and listen to everybody's opinion. Just as you want your opinion heard, the next person wants their opinion heard. Yeah, that's coming from me, goddammit. I said it. I said it.
That's my man, yo. That's my man, yo. That's my man,
I
yo.
said it. I know
Did I
that.
tell you I'm getting drunk?
Hey, look.
Did I tell you that?
That is an abnormal statement coming from yours truly, but I understand.
Ron put the hood on.
Of course you do, because Ron side with y'all. Sorry. Ron side with y'all. That's too much ground.
Side with y'all. I'm a grown ass. Fuck with you.
And can I just say thank y'all again for sticking with us. We started a little late. Things got off a little late.
Yeah.
But
Thank
you
y'all.
guys,
Thank y'all, yeah.
you guys have been very engaging. You've been very, participating and all that, and we really appreciate it for real, man. Definitely.
True that.
This is only our 3rd episode.
Right.
So.
All
All right. So I'm going to forewarn you.
Moderator.
Okay? I'm going to forewarn you. It's our turn. No, not you.
Not you. Our.
Not you.
Yeah, you should listen this time.
Not you. Hey, Carla, muzzle. Where is it? Muzzle. Muzzle. Let's get that.
Go ahead, Pete.
It's the men's turn. There's the disconnect. That's the disconnect. That's the disconnect. See? Already before we begun, you guys have exposed the disconnect. When man asks you what is the problem, you get hesitant. So now it's man's turn to speak on his problem, and I guarantee you
And again, a disconnect.
I mean, we never really got the women to fully
let's.
show their opinion.
But you're validating my
But I'm
point.
getting drunk.
When we ask them, they won't talk.
The only one that came up was
When we ask them, they won't talk. Okay. Apologize for that. So.
All I know is.
Ho. Problem number 2. This is a cultural problem. It ain't about you speaking your truth. This is a cultural issue. This is a racial issue. This is an issue amongst all of us. So the minute you say, I spoke my truth, you've individualized what is a cultural issue. Okay, Pumpkin?
Oh. So it's okay. So it's our turn. So how we gonna kick it off? What's the question? Or
before we kick it off, unfortunately, we were rude to this young lady here. She had her hand up wanting to speak, and we did not give her the floor.
Yes.
So
let's start there.
Let's start there.
Absolutely.
Said what I said, but
not yet. 5, 4.
We on?
3, 2. Let's go.
So one thing that I wanted to speak, well, actually a couple of things, but to the gentleman's comment that we see red flags. First of all, we don't always see red flags, period. Because just when you gave talking about your childhood and you talked about, what your mom taught you, but what she didn't teach you. So that means you go into adulthood, you're not going to pick up on all the signs. So we don't always see the red flags. So that's just a lie right there. But there are times, don't get me wrong, especially as you get older and you've been through some relationships, yeah, you do see some red flags because you want what you want, or you think you can change the person. Then we just kind of move through the relationship with these red flags that end up being more than just a flag. The other thing is, I'm glad that you mentioned about what your mom did tell you, but what she couldn't tell you. Because so many of us, when you're missing that one parent, I don't care how good that one parent is, they can't make up for the other. I think I was an excellent mom to my girls, but I couldn't teach them what a father could teach them. And it has had some consequences. I mean, they turned out okay, but there certainly were some things that I just couldn't teach them because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I tried to have them around people that I thought, could kind of make up the deficit, but that's not the same. It's not the same. So I appreciate you saying that. And as one of those that was a latchkey kid, I missed out on a whole lot of parenting. And do I think my mom was a bad parent? No, she was out working. That's why I was a latchkey kid. But I missed out.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. So, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Got a little rowdy.
Understatement.
We had to pull the plug. Nobody was going to get hurt, but it was just too much disorder and chaos. So we're back. Part 2.
That just means we ate good, y'all.
right. I mean,
we
the
had
food
some
was
good eats. I don't know who provided the food, but it was
She
amazing.
provided the food.
Thank you.
It is all her. And it is freaking delicious, and she will do it every time we here.
Uh-oh. I don't know.
Amen.
I don't know.
Bring her back.
Thank you, though. We really appreciate that. For real.
So, let's get back. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for sitting around waiting for part 2. We've had a newcomer come in late, but that's okay.
We got the floor.
As long as he's here.
We got the floor.
Problem. It's the men's turn. So, we will open the floor to the men to speak to how we feel we're being mistreated by a fellow black woman, how we feel there's some things.
Look, they talking already.
See?
They talking already.
Already.
Y'all talking already, grunting and grinning and stuff already. Chill out. We ain't even say nothing yet.
So I will repeat this again.
Ho.
In order to get to a resolution, we have to reveal the dirt under the rug. But in order to reveal the dirt under the rug, you have to be mature enough to accept your dirt. So, no more interruptions, no more sidebar conversations.
No more phones dropping.
No more none of that. If you finna pee on yourself because it's that pertinent that you get out your thought, hold it. We will get to you. Ty is going around with the mic, and this nigga is already having sidebar conversations. What are you, 6? Have some hush.
So what are we asking the fellas right now? And then we get a
Question
fella.
to the fellas. What has the black woman done to you that has caused you to mistreat her?
Nothing.
Hey, look. Again, we are all over 40. We're not going to start this off with a bunch of lies. Yeah. There are some things that we feel. Let me tell you something. Here's a problem. I'm going to tell you about men real quick. This is the problem. The problem with men is this. When it's just men and nobody in the room but men, we will say whatever the fuck we want. Now that it is time to present to the women how we feel, these jokers want to sit here and lie. Nope, you ain't doing nothing.
So why don't you guys start? Tell me to start.
You drunk.
Hey, I got something.
Paul,
No, it's our turn.
Go ahead, Boots.
Real quick. So, I will speak from my personal, as I did in part one. I will speak from my personal situation.
Can you talk a little faster?
No, I cannot. The biggest. Hey, Nay, get his number, and then y'all can talk when the show over. I will speak from my personal situation, my personal experience. The biggest problem I have with my fellow black women, is two things: lack of patience and lack of understanding. Why do I say that? As a man, and again, I'm only speaking for myself, but I'm pretty certain that the men in here will agree with me. We tell you what we feel. We tell you our thoughts. We tell you what you do that bothers us. You all have a temperament that you feel we're supposed to suck it up and take whatever you dish to us, and that's the end of that. So then, when a situation occurs where he becomes distant, he becomes non-affectionate, he becomes non-talkative, you're asking why. If you were listening to him, you already know the answer why, because he's told you several occasions. So this is, from my experiences, biggest problem with the fellow black woman. That is the understanding piece. The patience piece is this. If a man is truly in tune with himself and he truly loves and cherishes you and what you bring to the table, he will reveal to you things he will never reveal to anybody, even his mother. Like I said in part one, the dynamic is different. Problem is, when he's that vulnerable and reveals those things to you, the minute you're mad at him, you throw those things back in his face. When you throw those things back in his face,
Yeah, Ty. Yeah, Ty. Yeah, Ty. Yeah, Ty. Yeah, Ty.
When you throw, please understand that when you throw those things back in his face, he loses trust for you. When you throw those things back in his face, he's no longer comfortable with being open to you. In fact, he will go as far as to feel like you're another enemy at that point. So, a lot of times women ask for a man to do blah, 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 but then when he does it, instead of having that understanding and patience, you throw darts. You become vindictive. You start to diminish and undermine him as a man.
That's true. Yeah.
And that is the issues from personal experience.
I like to piggyback on that. If I was to answer the question, I think that a lot of men can't be emotional. Like, I know a woman who I literally had a full-blown argument with her because she said, ain't no man supposed to tell me I hurt his feelings. That men, it's not a manly, I guess, for a man to say, you hurt my feelings. And honestly, a lot of men won't say to a woman, you hurt my feelings with that. Because saying something like that, it makes you, human beings, especially men and black men, have a real problem with being vulnerable. Yep. And saying something like that puts you in a really high vulnerable state. Like, that's very revealing to say to a woman, you as a woman subconsciously already think you kind of weaker than me. I already think you know, I'm supposed to be the strong one. But I'm telling you, you hurt my feelings. That's a lot. And so, you know, men don't have the opportunity to really be emotional, and if they are, it's usually looked at as a sign of weakness. You know what I'm saying? Specifically when it comes to relationships and women, and how, you know, not just out here, you're just a weak dude and you can't deal with adversity, but in relationships, you know, because men, we get our feelings hurt too. You know, things happen that affect us and emotionally like that, but, you know, a lot of times women will look at that as a sign of weakness. So if the question is, what do women do, or specifically black women do for us black men that hurt us, I would say not allowing us to be fully emotional, and when we do, you know, look at that as a sign of weakness.
All right, and all right, so, and to piggyback off of that, for me, I think, from my personal experiences, I think women need to learn how to handle their emotions better and deal with them. A lot, you know, women are naturally more emotional. That's true, okay, and we get that, but you still have to learn how to manage your emotions. You can't just say to a man, "Well, this is how I am," right? Like you can't say, "Well, this just how I am. This is what I do. This is how I talk." No, that's not how you talk to me, right? You're not gonna reach me talking to me like that. You gotta learn your mate. And you got to look at yourself and learn how you can reach him. Women get so caught up in just being themselves and being who they are that a lot of times you'll lose your man like that. Like, manage your emotions, okay? Like, you get mad, you say something, you lash out, you call him out his name, then the next day, you act like, you know, nothing
Never happened, right?
Right? And now, he didn't forget that. Now, I know now for myself, one of my love languages is words of affirmation. So what a woman says to me hits home. So when you say something to me out of my name, I don't forget that. I hold on to it. So tomorrow or the day after that, if you don't apologize for it, I'm still this SOB. I'm still this, that, and the third in my mind. So I'm not talking to you. Tone, delivery, more importantly, understanding your mate, right? Now, so a lot of times women, y'all gotta understand, a lot of times y'all hold the keys, right? So, you know, men, we respond like, you tell us we're doing a good job, we're gonna do more of that, right? But you gotta figure out how to reach your man. You yelling and fussing at him may not reach him. But if you can learn what his emotional triggers are, how to push his buttons a certain kind of way, you might get a better response.
Okay,
don't just act like this is how I am, that's it. Learn your mate, and more importantly, learn how to manage your own emotions.
So does any of the women have any response to anything we've said so far?
My love language is petty, by the way. It is.
It's not.
It is.
Okay, I totally disagree with everything you just said, because everything you just said was the opposite for me. My entire adult life, I have been the one who has had to suck it up and not say anything.
Oh, I never
don't
said
argue.
that. That's not what I said, though, V.
Go, let her go.
But I'm saying, when he was talking about selfishness, to me, men's selfishness is way above women's selfishness. We hold back on a lot of stuff just so we can get to the next day, okay? So.
No, hold up, y'all. Hold up. Go ahead, B.
Hold on.
Go ahead,
No,
B.
let her go. Let her go. Go ahead, sweetie.
Get emotional since y'all said
no, get emotional. It's okay. It's okay.
Do what you do.
Be complete. Y'all leave her alone.
Do what you do.
Go ahead, baby.
So, what you were saying, what he was saying, or whoever was saying about not calling, I never did any of that. I'm the one that received all that.
Okay.
So don't make it seem like all of us women do that, because we don't.
Hey, Ron, let her go, Ron. Let her go, Ron.
Before we go any further, I want to establish a rule, or shall I say a formula. You should take this formula and apply it to any subject in life, because this formula is real. That formula is this, Olivia. Nothing is 100% absolute, but majority rules. What does that mean? You're going to find an exception for anything. So if your rebuttal is going to be presenting the exception, then you're not going to grasp the concept of what's being said to
Or
you.
your personal experience.
Okay? Nobody ever said all. Nobody ever said
All women.
all women. But the majority of women do that. And there's no man that will sit in here in this room and say otherwise. Therefore, just as much as women want men to take responsibility, women have to do the same. Okay?
Any other ladies want like to respond to any of the things the fellas have said so far?
I started this out by saying that I don't belittle men, that I don't put them down, that I don't raise my voice, that I don't give them the angry black woman syndrome. And I do the same in my relationship. So what I do to my sons, I have transferred that into my actual personal relationship life. And what I do is I take a submissive role. Why? Because I like being a submissive. I enjoy it. It's more powerful from that space, personally. So I like being the submissive. What I'm looking for is the leader. So what I can't deal with is the butt-hurt dude. The dude that is so emotional. He's been so bent out of shape. He's been so abused by his baby mama and his ex-girlfriends that he's now looking to me to not only not belittle him, but mother him, nurture him, breastfeed him.
I got a
can't do
rebuttal for that.
I did that 3 times for each child for 4 years, for each one. So what I'm not going to do for a grown man is that too. But what I am going to do is I'm going to listen to him. And I'm going to take his lead, whatever that may be. But see, if you leading me into a ditch or you leading me into a dead end, then what am I supposed to do with that? So I'm not the one to yell at you. I'm not the one to talk down to you. I'm the one that's your cheerleader. I'm on the side. Matter of fact, I'm the one that can take your business from 0 to 100. And I've done it so many freaking times that I got receipts. So I can take a man from here and make him here. So what I'm saying to you is, not every woman operates on that principle of putting a man down or belittling him or telling him that he ain't crap or dogging him out or treating him like the next or talking to his friend behind his back. I'm not that girl. I'm gonna feed you, I'm gonna nurture you, I'm your cheerleader.
Where do you get that from? Who said anything about that?
What I'm saying is y'all talking from a perspective of that's how black women lead.
No.
What are you talking about? Nobody said that.
Hold.
Women that I hang around with, they don't talk to black men.
Hold tight.
Nobody said that. What are you talking about?
Hold tight. So I think the thing that I validate what you just said, and absolutely. But I think the thing that you are ignoring is the fact that right before you spoke, the point that we all tried to make is that we're not saying that is the general consensus for all women and that all women is this.
I literally just interrupted her and I gave a formula. Nothing is absolute, but majority rules.
Right. See, and whether or not, and you can even take the word majority out of it. The fact of the matter is
You sure
that
you want to take majority on it?
well, yeah, if you let me finish this part, you can even take the word majority out of it and just focus on the fact that men, there's a large proportion of men that can speak to that, and that is their example of dealing with women. So. See, but don't do that.
I don't make no harm. And I'm going to let Ron. Hold up.
We're not wrong.
I'm gonna let you take it.
Tell y'all the same thing.
I'm gonna let you take it.
The baby me, right?
I'm gonna let you.
No man wants that. And again, if you had the baby and you had to build up men, you pick some weak men too. So don't say that we're all picking bad women.
Before we even go that far.
If you ask men how they feel and they tell you, just receive it.
Before we even go that far.
Same way when y'all tell us how y'all feel, we need to receive that, right? When you talk to a man and you talking to that man, right? You're talking. You want him to listen to you. and you want him to receive what you're saying, correct? You want to know that you're being heard.
She's not listening.
You
to
don't
you.
want him to talk.
She's not listening to you.
I know that. I'm talking to the other ladies that are like actually paying attention, right? When a man talks to you, when you talk to your man, you want him to listen to you. You want him to affirm what you said. Good communication, right? You talk, he affirms what you said, so you know that he heard you and understands you. We want to do the same thing, right? We expect the same kind of response in return. But if I tell you how I feel, and the first thing you say is, no, you're wrong, my feelings can't be wrong. They're my feelings. So we need to be able to communicate that to each other. And right now, we're trying to give an opinion, and you basically say, I don't want no boy that I gotta put a titty in his mouth. That's not what we're saying.
Hey, Olivia.
That's exactly where you went.
Olivia, no.
Therapy.
No.
We all need.
I'm going to give you another truth that most of you women refuse to accept.
Uh-oh.
Okay?
Uh-oh.
Are you ready for this truth? Here's the truth. You will never in a million years be able to vouch for your female friends. You know why? You don't date them. You're not in a relationship with them. You do not know how they deal with their man. You only know what they tell you. So when you sit there and you say, none of my women do or my friends do blah, 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 you're lying. You don't know.
Can I get something?
You don't know.
That's a great point. And that goes for everybody. That goes for everybody. That goes for everybody.
You don't know.
Us too.
That goes for everybody, men and women.
She will sit there. This is a common thing amongst women. And I know because I got a lot of platonic female friends and they tell me. This is a common thing amongst women. Your girlfriend will call you and she will shit on that dude and tell you she done with him and I don't care about her no more and F this nigga that and he did this and then a week later she in the Bahamas with him. True. So stop sitting there talking about my friends don't do blah, blah, blah. You don't know. You can only speak for what you do.
And what they tell her.
Right.
You got a point?
Of course. Of course.
She got the mic.
Light skin.
She got the mic.
Hold Mark.
Nay, let's go.
All right, before I get too drunk.
Too late. It's too late.
Too late for that.
It's too late.
I came here thinking it was going to be something totally that is not, right? So I want to say to each of you all, I expected to be talking to someone sort of like light skin over there. I mean, because I think you three sort of have the dynamics and understand the lack of on both sides with men and women. Right?
You came here thinking you were only going to talk to light-skinned people?
No, man. Attitudes like his.
Mentality, bro. Mentality. His mentality. His mentality.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hey, before you continue, thank you for not putting me in that boat.
I know you light skin. I kept thinking like, but he not acting the way he acting crazy. He acting like.
All us light skinned dudes don't think like that.
I'm not one of those people.
All right, hold on. She got the mic. She got the mic.
He acting light skinned.
Nay, let's go.
You see, you done riled up the light skinned niggas.
Nay, let's go.
I'm not one of those people to think all and take it personal. I understand the dynamics and where you're coming from. But I did hear Ron say, we don't want a bunch of fussing. So my question is, why is there a bunch of fussing? And then I heard Olivia say, she took a man from here to there. But I want to know, where are those men now? Like, if she did that, why aren't there?
Great questions.
Why aren't they with her?
Can I take that?
What happened?
Can I take that?
She asked her and him.
What about Olivia and Ron, Paul? Because you can't speak for your friends, remember?
I'm not speaking for my friend. I'm speaking.
Let her. Go ahead, Ron. Ron first. You asked your question, Ron first.
Those were just some of the things I was expecting to hear. People, we all been in relationships.
Hold on, Olivia. Hold up, y'all.
Now that y'all did your little female bonding thing.
And she said, I think 4 times. I think you said you did it 4 times. 4 times. So sometimes we think it's the man, but it could be us, right? So Yeah, so
Hold on,
I'm
let
just
Ron
trying to
answer your question.
She's addressing Olivia, bro.
figure out, you know, what happened. Like, I mean, let's get to the root cause.
Well, for me, I know the old adage is hurt people hurt people.
Right.
So a lot of the relationships that I was in was a result of where I was at in my life.
Right.
So because my life was hectic and chaotic, and I didn't have a whole lot of control, I dated women. I reflected that, and those are the women I attracted.
Yeah.
So I was constantly because I was chaotic, I had women that operated in chaos, and they always wanted to fuss and fight and argue. But as I started to work on myself and took a step back and worked on me, now I don't even attract that kind of energy. And when I see it, I run from it, right? So for me, it started with healing myself. And now, because I started loving myself and appreciating me more, I know what I want and I expect out of a woman. So when I see those things, I just run from them. I avoid it all the way.
The sign.
Right. Well, because I actually know what I want now. It's not just chasing what I see. It's more like of a vibe I get from a person and talking to them and getting to know them. And also getting to know them, not sleeping with them in the first week, right? Like, because back to that earlier topic, what I was going to say earlier was that we date wrong, right? A lot of times we meet somebody and the first thing we see is the physical. So what we do is we rush to get to that point. We rush to get there. And once you have sex, it compromises the integrity of the friendship. Because now there are signs you're going to overlook. Signs you're going to overlook because you've already been intimate, right? As opposed to if you're just building a friendship and a relationship from a platonic level, when you see stuff pops up, you can walk away and no feelings will be hard, really, because it's easier to walk away from that. But good sex will taint and make you stay in something longer than you need to.
And ignore the sign.
And totally ignore stuff. So.
That men do that?
Heck yeah. That's how men end up with the baby mama. I don't know how I got a baby by her. I wish I never did it.
Right.
So
Because for almost 2 hours.
That's a disconnect. That's a
and no
disconnect
answers,
I have, and maybe I'm a little different.
You just answered part of the conversation that we initiated before the break, right? And with light skin over there saying everybody know the signs, because I do think choices and the way we date brings us all to here having this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Bad choices, and then we notice, like I can date 5, 6 different men, but they're all the same because I attract the same thing, and I'm getting the same results. So no, I said that.
She said
She
that.
literally said that.
She said that.
She
y'all.
said
That's
that.
why now I want to turn to Olivia, who said she was a man from here to here 4 times.
Right.
Great potential. They have
Damn, we've been going
potential. They may not be where they perceive themselves or where they are, but I know they have potential. And what I realize within myself is I like to see these men that are either entrepreneurs or someone that has not been shown their motherly love or some type of love from a woman in a way. And I like these damaged. Oh yeah, and I like the damaged men, the men that didn't have their mothers to love them fully, the men that just kind of just was a step away from. Exactly, it's true. It's absolutely true. And what I did was I would look to these men and I would say, you know what, you are so much more than what you think or what society has said you are. Let me show you what you really are. And let me tell you what your potential is. And all of them have come back and said, thank you, thank you, thank you. As they have climbed the ladder, got Becky, got Dude, got whatever. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I get the praises all the way up until this very day. They told me.
Can I add? I don't mean to be.
The problem is with that is the reason why I liked men in that capacity is because my own father, I never felt like I could please my own father. And see, with everything, the 4 point, I had a 4.5. Okay, I graduated at 15. I skipped 4 grades. I have an IQ that's out of this world. So,
awesome.
But my father never said, "I'm proud of you. Great job, young lady. You're amazing." You know what he told me? He said, "You're damn rude. Why your mouth gotta be so?
Why can't you just do what you're told? So, see, I looked for my father to have approval of me. So I took these damaged men, and I figured if I make them into more of a man than what they were already presented themselves as being, I was trying to get approval. See, the thing about women and men is that we go back into our childhood.
Therapy. I've been saying therapy
He been saying
all
therapy
night.
all night.
He's been saying it the whole night. So my red flag, my personal red flag, what I now do. See, I've been in therapy for the last 8 years. I have a life coach. I have mentors. I have people who that inspire me, and I actually pay for these things. I pay for my therapist. I pay for my life coach.
Of course you do. It's not covered in your insurance. Of course you do.
It's never
Mine is.
anything that has to do with your mind.
I pay copay like everything else,
Insurance covers
but it's covered. I pay copay.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. Your entire spiel, not one time have I heard you say what it is about you that attracts these type of men.
Or anything you did incorrectly,
She didn't do anything incorrectly. She didn't do anything incorrectly. I'm getting to a point, and I want her to say it, because the fact of the matter is this: from what you're saying, which is all I can go on, you didn't do anything wrong by a man other than choose the wrong one. Because a man that truly values what you did for him is not going to leave you once he reaches his certain potential.
No, but that's not the reality.
That is.
What you didn't get was the
So for you,
I said I left.
No, the reality.
Walk away from me.
But the
away from them.
the reality is, the reality is.
So let me.
And then once they get there, she rolls out.
No.
All right, so with that being said, okay. So with that being said, what the hell are you talking about?
No, listen. Not only that,
because if that's what you're doing, you don't have an issue with men. You got an issue with yourself.
Not only that, she said that. But not only that,
the reason I'm saying that is, what is this conversation about?
It don't fit this.
What is this conversation about?
It don't fit this.
No, it's her.
It didn't fit the topic, but she owned her stuff.
I know it's me.
Yeah, it didn't fit the topic. She owned her stuff, though.
And
She
I
owned her
think
stuff.
she sort of did answer her question. Her question was, why did they leave?
No.
And so that was her question.
but the topic was.
That was the topic. I understand, Booth. But her question to her was, why?
Do you know how much time we just wasted?
Right.
That was her answer.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times people don't realize that it's them. That's the problem. They try to blame it on the man or whatever, and they don't look to themselves. They don't look in the mirror and say, what is it about me that's attracting these type of people? What is it about? So sometimes you have to look at yourself and be like, oh, maybe it's me. Situations where you had your mother and your father and your shit was like magical fucking Disney shit. We all come from more than likely broken fucking homes. Our parents were together for 3 years, 2 years, no years, 6 years, 10 years, whatever. So we all fucked up, right? And so we out here living in this world trying to be the best thing we can be. You know what I'm saying? But like for real, like we all just we get older and learning. So the best thing we can do is what? Offer that shit to those of us that have kids, a better way to be. Conversations are because we can like discuss about the things. But like you gotta be like really like for real. Like look, yo, I'm terrible in relationships for this reason. Why? What's your personal shit? Like that's what it comes down to. Stop talking about what other people did. Fuck what another motherfucker did to you. Because for real, guess what? You your own problem. Like you the own problem in your relationship. Like and I say this like I've been married twice. I got a baby mother. I got an ex-wife. I got an ex-wife. My shit fucked up. Like, dead ass, yo, my resume is fucked up. It's fucked up. My resume is trash. You know what I'm saying? I come out here, what am I? Oh, for real, we gonna do this
All right, so with that being said, if we all acknowledge that we all have issues, then why sometimes we can't extend grace to somebody that we really like, right? Like if you it's not
fear.
Like if
it's not fear.
Like if you really
it's not fear.
It is.
If you really like this person, right?
It's not fear.
Right.
It's not fear.
If you really like this person, y'all really feeling each other, y'all have a good vibe, and you see something, right? And if you care about them, why don't you try to ask them to help them with
It's
that?
not fair.
Why are we not trying to help each other? Like we're expecting we're
Absolutely not.
We're all imperfect people expecting perfect from somebody that we know is imperfect, right? Like why can't we acknowledge that we're all imperfect?
You know
right?
why?
Right?
To answer your question,
question,
it's not fear. The issue is that people don't know how to be selfless.
Boom.
Because we live in a society that from a baby, you are almost taught self-gratification.
Me.
I need this. I need this. We are not taught that I don't care if you are the most religious person, you go to church, all that. You really aren't taught that you're supposed to be selfless. And that, no, everybody, dog. Everybody. I don't know what that has anything to do with this, but I don't know. I can't really. No, she hasn't. My mother ain't never really. My mother ain't really say no real fucked up. Not my mom.
No.
But my point
Whooping
is.
my ass for fucking up is totally different from saying something fucked up to me.
My point.
Bruh. Hey, no more drinks for you.
My overall point is that a lot of our woes and a lot of our issues come from the fact that we don't come from a place of selflessness at first. And you know, when it comes to when you're dealing with a person, you're in some type of relationship, whether it's your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend, your family member, or whoever, we almost subconsciously we think about our own gratification or what is best for us first, and then that other person is secondary, unless it's our children, because
I totally disagree.
For them children.
I totally disagree, but I'm gonna let her.
And my point is, to the original question, that is the problem that I feel like overall is the overarching problem that causes us to not treat each other well.
Hold on.
He had his hand raised a long time ago. I know it was a long time ago.
This is why I say it's fear. It's not that I disagree with what you're saying. I do think that we are we're just selfish people instead of being selfless. But what I think it still comes down to fear of getting hurt. Just like black men, fear of being vulnerable enough to say how they feel because they don't know how it's going to be received by us. It's fear of women being afraid to speak their mind because heaven forbid they might. Because if you have a crazy nigga, you're going to get your ass beat. Or, because we're trying to leave that piece out, that's not everybody's story, but it's a lot of women's stories.
Yeah.
Which is why they don't say much and
That's
they're
valid.
submissive.
That's definitely
but then,
valid.
On the flip side of that, we just don't want to be seen as being the angry black woman.
Yeah.
Right? So I just think it's fear overall. We fear being ourselves with the people that we really love because we're just not sure how it's going to be received.
I agree 100%. It's fear. My reasoning is different. The reason I feel it's fear is because it ties into what he's saying with being selfless. Because we are so afraid of, women are afraid of being emotionally hurt. Men are afraid of being used.
Mm-hmm.
No, here's the difference. You want me to explain the difference?
That's real talk.
Here's the difference.
Ooh, that was good. That was good.
A man will manipulate a woman and play on her emotions to get what he wants. A woman will straight up use a man. There's a big difference because a woman doesn't have to play on your emotions. As you said in part 1, you just want to fuck. So she knows that, and guess what she gonna do? Take me to Ruth Chris. Guess what she gonna do? Take me to Ruth Chris. So my point, you going on another topic. You're going on another topic.
Here we go.
You're going on another topic.
Tamara.
You're going on another topic.
Boom.
Listen. Men are afraid of being used. It is not. It's not. Fear is an emotion. That we all get that. I'm speaking specifically, no sidebar conversation. I'm speaking specifically to what you are afraid of. You are afraid. I can't make no comment because you're trying to out-talk me. Just like I gave you the floor and let you talk, have some hush and let me finish. Men are afraid of being used. What comes with that? We've been taught since the late 80s, early 90s that women are gold diggers. So what are men afraid of? Men are afraid of being used from a financial standpoint.
20 years ago, but 20 years ago, women making more money than men now. Women making more money than men now, so I don't know about that one.
So now that you all are finished,
hello, yo. That's what I was going to say. I was going to go there. Like Paul, I feel what you're saying, but
I haven't completed my thoughts for you to feel what I'm saying.
Now, no, the gold digger thing is
it's not.
Totally switched.
It's not switched. And I'm gonna tell you why it's not switched. You want me to tell you why it's not switched? Because women still pocket their money and want you to spend. It's not switched.
I ain't.
Hey, guess what?
Came across that.
Guess what? Guess what? So what? Who cares about that? Guess what black women still do? Guess what black women still do? You can tell me what you want. There's one thing black women still do.
Right, that's what we started off saying.
So what? So what? Guess what they still do? When you go out to eat, who paying you?
Because that's chivalry.
That's not.
When you go out to eat, who paying?
That's not always true.
I could be all
See,
light-skinned.
this is the problem.
I've had plenty of women.
This is the problem.
That's what happens, G.
Just that quick. Just that quick.
As a man, you can bring in no bread, and she can go in GS 13, 15, SES all day. You can sit and ride her back all day. When she come home, you that man in the house when she need that man, she ain't tripping off how that bread getting made. You got it twisted, homie.
How? How? How?
Because you're looking at the wrong demographics. In this demographic, in this area, as a black man,
Slim.
especially, I don't care how you look at it, these black women have more of a chance.
That has nothing to do. That ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about.
Let me explain something to you.
I've heard you.
Black women have more of a chance in this
So what?
Yeah.
So what?
I mean, cut the live off. You can record it, but cut the live off. Cut the live feed off. You can record this shit, but cut the live feed off. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Hey. Mark. Shit, go ahead, Mark. Hey, look, hold up.
Time.
Hold up.